All right, let's get Michael on here. Oh, it's not. He's not on the stage yet. Now he is.
The cookies are
getting him on. Here we go, Michael. Now you should be ready to go. Go ahead and switch your camera on if you need to. There we go. There we go. All right, everyone. Let's get us live on LinkedIn, and we're going to get rolling here. Hope everyone's having a great day so far. Let's do this thing. All right. Doing the stuff there. All right, everyone. Welcome once again to the Exit Your Way Business Roundtable. I'm your host, Damon Postolka. I've got Andrew Cross on the stage. I've got Ira Bowman on the stage. And with us, our special guest of the day, Michael Gidlewski. Hello, everyone. Hey. All right. Let's get into it today. We got some people. Hit the chat. If you're on LinkedIn, remember, we are monitoring the chat there. So go ahead and hit up where you're coming from, where you're listening from. Put your questions and comments in there. We're ready to listen to that, or ready to read that. And if you're in the group out here and you're listening to us in Remo, make sure to hit the chat with something, and we'll go from there. So we're going to start out with our introductions, as we always do, and get some people up here on the stage, and they can answer the infamous question of the day after they do a short introduction. So who we got going first, Andrew? Ira?
Let's see here. Let's get we'll go random and not top to bottom.
There we go. Oh, Kelly Robinson's on LinkedIn saying she loves this matchup. Kelly is actually, this is really stinks though, because Kelly's in Mexico on vacation, and she's doing this. What are you doing looking at us on LinkedIn Live? You should be on the beach, getting the warm weather. I saw a picture of her though this morning, and it looks like she's getting some sun. That's awesome. That's awesome. It's always good. Jacob, how are you today, sir?
The beer.
Phenomenal. How are you guys doing today?
Awesome.
Awesome. How does the microphone sound? I'm still working on getting the placement right.
It's pretty good, man.
Pretty good. Yeah.
Pretty solid.
Sweet.
Solid.
Nice.
Good. So tell us about yourself, Jacob, and then I will bring out the infamous question of the day.
Oh dear. So I am Jacob Warren with Warren Research. As some of you may well know, we do IT services for businesses, to include cybersecurity and helping you do things more securely. Something that really is awesome that I'm still putting together the visuals for the full launch, but I've now developed my own cloud platform to be able to even have more controls to give to my clients. And so that's something that's excited. So if you have technology issues, definitely reach out, and I'll either point you in the right direction or help you get it fixed.
All right, man. So this is our question of the day.
Uh-oh.
What is the business legacy you want to leave?
Ooh. The business legacy that I want to leave. And believe it or not, I have thought along these lines. But the biggest thing is I want the business that I'm creating to leave an impact with not only clients, but community. I know that can be looked at as a little bit of a cliche, but the reality is I want it to be able to be something that provided a way for clients, for people to truly take technology, simplify it, and use the benefits of it to achieve something greater, to be one of those, even if it's just a small cog in some type of larger dream.
Nice. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Well, thanks for being here today, Jacob, and we will see you soon. All right. Mark, awesome having you today, man.
Good morning. Good to see you.
Yes.
Great to be here.
I always like the guitar in the back. I like
Yes, it's there. As Alon said, it's gently weeping.
Weeping
from lack of care, I guess. I need to play it more.
There you go. Well, if I could play at all, I would be happy. So awesome, man. So tell us a bit about how you're helping people, and we'll go from there.
Sure, thanks. So I'm a fractional COO. I help visionary CEOs clarify their goals, develop a growth strategy, and execute for success. My background is in e-commerce operations. I led sales and marketing, product development, and customer service for an online retailer music gear. That's why you see the guitar back there. I do play a little bit. I helped the company grow from 40 million to 140 million in sales over an 8-year period. Since then, I've been focused on helping entrepreneurs set up systems, processes, and teams, develop sales and marketing strategy, and execute on the tactics necessary for scaling growth and sustainable profitability.
Yep. Very good.
That's what I do.
Very good. You got, and that's good. That's good. I mean, I liked your delivery. It was awesome. It was awesome,
Thanks.
man.
You know, it changes over time.
And I was thinking too, there's actually a guy that I want to introduce you to that I met in New York that might be a good, that he does something with sport courts. But
that'd be awesome.
I think it might be. So reach out to me on that, and I'll remember. I'll get you connected.
I've got some feedback for you too on a document.
Awesome. So the question of the day: what is the business legacy that you want to leave?
Yeah, that's a real profound question, right? It's kind of what you do and what you want to be remembered for. So I think, who just spoke again? I'm sorry, was that Jacob?
Jacob, yeah.
I think Jacob, that kind of moved me a little bit. I think the idea of legacy for me is about helping people and helping people grow. So I think that's what I'm most passionate about is supporting people where I can, kind of filling in the gaps. If somebody's got a vision, often they've got a vision, but they don't know quite how to get there. Providing that support and structure to help them realize that dream. And I think there's a lot of satisfaction in knowing that you've helped people grow and realize their dream, realize their vision, made their life better. That impacts not just that person, but their family and their customers. I really believe there's power in making the world a better place by growing successful businesses. And again, that may sound like a cliche, but that's what moves me, is making the world a better place. And I see a lot of potential to do that through entrepreneurial ventures.
Nice. Awesome, Mark. Thanks so much. Great to have you as always.
Always great to be here.
Pete, great to see you again today.
Damon.
Boy, was that a banner day yesterday here or what?
Oh, yes.
First day, I think, didn't we hit 60 degrees or close
we
to
did.
it?
I mean, I got a chance to go for a walk, and it reminded me of how much I love living here.
Yeah. Good stuff. Well, I would have went for a walk, but I'm going to see my orthopedic surgeon today, so that's not walking for a while.
Oh, boy.
But tell us about yourself, Pete, and then we'll go get to the question of the day.
Sure. So in addition to being the host of the popular Winning at Business and Life podcast, which just had some new branding put out. So Ira, thank you for noticing that.
It looks good.
So I empower working professionals to go from being mentally and emotionally overwhelmed to better protecting their health and handling challenging situations with grace and success. And it's an interesting question, similar to what Mark said. For me, whether it's helping them, promote them in a great way, or helping them, get a little bit better balance in their life, it's doing something that helps my clients better reach their potential. That's, whatever that potential is. So,
awesome.
It's interesting being in some conversations where, whatever success means to that person, if I've had just a little bit to do with that, then I've made my goal.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Good stuff. So, what about our question of the day? What is
that was the answer.
That was the question of my brain. I was writing something down. I'm sorry.
Wait a minute. Has the orthopedic surgeon already given you the drugs?
No, but it is throbbing like a mother. I will tell you that. So,
I bet.
But so that's great, Pete. Thanks so much. And awesome. If you haven't seen Pete's podcast, you need to check them out. They're great. How many are you up to now? You got to have like 200.
Well, I published, I think it was 238 or something. So, and I just recorded 250 yesterday. So, yeah.
Nice. Good job. Good job,
Thank
man.
you. All in just a little over a year.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the thing. The timing is pretty crazy. So thanks a lot, Pete.
You bet.
Love having you. Jill, wonderful seeing you today. Great talking earlier. So tell us a little bit about how you're helping people, and then we will answer the question of the day.
Yeah, I'm Jill. I'm the founder and COO of Link Consulting, and we're a company that specializes in working with smaller businesses in helping them improve their productivity and performance of their people. I look at the last 17 years of experience that I've had working in nonprofit, and all those experiences of motivating volunteers I take into the for-profit sector and show managers and business owners how to bring out the best in their people, how to align the people's passion and talents with the vision and goals of the company, creating a win-win situation. So awesome. I love doing that. It's a blast to do it. So
awesome.
As far as the legacy of Link that I want is that there are people who have been impacted in that they are living their fullest life, like that they enjoy the things that they do. They enjoy going into work. They found their passion place, and really it's about overcoming obstacles to be all that they're really purposed to be. And so that's the legacy that I want, is people who have experienced that and are living that life.
Nice, Jill. That's really cool. And the way that you help people is just facilitates that. It's so nice.
Thanks,
so
Damon.
Nice. Yeah. Awesome stuff. Great to have you.
Great.
Marty, our resident EOS person.
Yeah, I got my garb on now, right?
Oh, you even got the garb on. All right, man.
Oh,
so
man.
tell us how you're helping people.
Yeah, badge and a gun.
How do I help people? I help people with developing their leadership team for the entrepreneurial businesses, right? So EOS is focused on doing that. I think it goes to the topic for today too, and I know you guys hear me pound on EOS and all this stuff all the time, but structure determines performance. I'll talk about this model we utilize all the time. So this model, it really has the answers to a lot of your questions about simplifying your business and producing and making value. So that's what EOS is all about for that leadership team. But it works for entrepreneurial businesses too. We've got a VTO made for individuals, so I'm happy to send that out to the group if you're interested. My what was the big question?
What is the biggest legacy you would like to leave?
My legacy, if you're talking professional,
yeah,
I built my business. I sold that many years ago. I've done it in big corporate, and now I'm doing it with small entrepreneurial leadership teams. To me, it's about individual connection. So it's about connecting with those teams and putting them on the right track and having them feel like I've added value to their lives and to their whole lives, not just the business life, but their personal life. So I just do that individually. I don't need to be a big corporation anymore. I'm kind of done with that. So.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good stuff, Marty. Great having you here today.
Yeah, good seeing you all.
All right. Good. Well, Dennis, how are you today?
Hi there. I'm doing good. How are things with you all?
Just fine. Fine.
We did have a banner day yesterday here in Washington. There wasn't any rain. It was beautiful sunshine, and it's starting off today that way too. So I'm Dennis Bolger, and we are insurance agents in Edmonds, Washington, and our goal is to help people understand what they have insurance-wise, with whether it be a business or personal, and then help them increase their coverage while decreasing their expenses. So that's what we do, and we're pretty good at it. We have a lot of people that are pretty happy with what we do for them. Business legacy I'd like to leave. The business that I'm building we are building is really for my son and my family. And the goal is that they can receive the benefits and reap the harvest of what we put together over the next 5 to 10 years. And hopefully we can put our grandkids through college with it and buy houses with it for them and take care of them properly, and then be able to give back to the community as well by taking care of schools and other things that we can do locally. So that's who we are, and that's what we do.
Nice. That's awesome legacy, dude. And I know you're working hard at it. It's good stuff. Thanks so much. Great for me. Thanks so much for being here. So we got AJ coming to us once again from a little ways away. So how are things going today, AJ?
Hey guys, how are you?
How's India?
Great.
So tell us about what you do.
I'm AJ, so I'm from India, so I work into the staffing industry as a recruiter and a business development manager, where I help my clients to fulfill their hiring requirements in accordance to the skills they require, mostly into the IT sector like a DevOps, Salesforce, developers, and all these kind of stuff.
Okay. So helping staff IT people in the U.S.
Exactly.
Yep. And we learned the other day that you do that a lot for manufacturing companies. Yep.
Exactly.
Yep. And all right, AJ, so what kind of business legacy would you like to leave?
So I just want to leave a legacy which the people can save their time in accordance to the quality.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah. So because see, everything can be replaced, but time cannot be replaced.
Boy, that's a good one, man.
That would be great
That's
for
a good
every
one.
human being.
That's a good one. Time cannot be replaced. Yeah. Awesome.
Yes. If you can save time, then you are just giving your life to other people.
Yeah.
They want to live. That's the legacy I want to leave on the people.
Awesome. Good stuff, AJ. Thanks for being here.
Thanks,
Andrew
sir.
Deutsch, resident video expert and
Hello.
survivor of the Ohio Snowmageddon today.
Yeah, we're up to I bet you there's 4 inches out there. We woke up this
That's
morning
what I thought,
thinking
Michael.
snow was done. It's still coming down. Yeah, my dog's liking it.
Yeah. Probably liking that out there.
Yeah, he seems to be enjoying it.
Yeah. So tell us about yourself.
So the business, we like to charge extraordinarily high fees to provide very little value to our customers, since it is April Fool's.
Yes.
It's quite a legacy.
Yeah. No, we're in the business of helping businesses get back to truly building a strategy to grow in the market, whether domestically or internationally through our 120 plus affiliates overseas. It's all about the strategy before we let you play in that toolbox of all the tactical stuff that's so much fun. Actually, building the strategy is more fun because you really then know who you are, who your customer is, and how you differentiate.
Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome. So what kind of business legacy you want to leave, Andrew?
The business legacy will be how far all the great people that have come to work for us over the years get in their careers and how they grow as people.
Awesome. That's cool, dude. That's really cool. Because
there's nothing greater than getting someone in when they're a college intern and 20 years later they're the CEO of a major company, and you had a little bit of help in getting them on the right track.
Yeah.
That's the legacy.
Yeah. When you see people like that, that's such a feeling of satisfaction that you help somebody is just it's just really undescribable.
Yeah. And I want to be the answer to a question on Jeopardy.
That's good. That's good. The answer to a question on Jeopardy. There we go. Good stuff.
Is Fangled Tech?
Yeah. What is Fangled Tech? There we go. That would be a good one. Well, thanks, Andrew. Awesome having you here today as usual. And love your input. So we down to the people on the stage now, Andrew?
Yes, I believe that's it. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's start with Michael. since he's our
Okay, great.
speaker. So you can tell us about yourself, answer the question, and then we'll go around the rest of the stage and we'll get started with our presentation.
All right, that sounds fantastic. Thanks, Damon. My name is Michael Gidlewski. My company is Achievement Unlimited, and I am a growth catalyst. So I work with the small to mid-sized businesses to help them create a bigger future by developing their leaders to achieve all of their goals, both personally and professionally. Getting the right people on the bus in the right seats to accelerate that growth.
Nice.
So the big question, the really, really big question, business legacy. For me, it's to make a positive difference, a positive impact with the people I work with, personally and professionally, so that they wake up to the fact that we're not going to live forever, and that we should, moment by moment, try to make a positive impact with everybody we come in contact with. That the business isn't the end all be all. I've been working with a client for 5 or 6 years now, CEO, and this guy has been a workaholic, right? Just go, 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 go. This past March, he took 3 weeks off, and it was like fantastic. And he's had like just a great vacation. So the more time that people take off, the more they're aware that, hey, we're not going to live forever. I better make every minute count. It's going to be a beautiful place.
Yeah. And well, you know what you did by doing that too, though, if that person ever wants to sell that business, his business is tremendously more valuable, because we see that every day working with owners that are tied to their businesses, is that the new buyer coming in won't buy that business because the business owner is all the value in the business. So you're helping them create a much more valuable business doing that. That's awesome. That's awesome. Right. So Ira, let's hear your spiel and then the question of the day, man.
Sure. So I just wrote a new, actually I didn't write it. I designed a piece for a magazine. Like, what is Bowman Digital Media? And it breaks down to 6 categories. We're helping to build people's digital audience, and how we do it is through social media management, website development, graphics design, photography, videography, and SEO. So that's the categories in which we're helping people to create their digital audience. And as far as the answer to the question of the day, what I'd really like to do with my legacy is be remembered as the guy who had his hand helping hundreds, if not thousands, of business owners to make their business better. That's really what I want to be remembered for, being that guy that helped.
Very cool. Very cool, Ira. Thanks. So, Andrew, we're down to you, man.
Yeah. Well,
we don't discuss these questions beforehand, too. So it's a wag, man. Everybody knows that it's going to be just out. I'm pulling one out of the air here.
The first person who answers it is the first person who hears it.
Yep.
Well, our goal, my goal is in business is to build a company that I can exit from and that can carry on after without me. And so that's a legacy. In practice, what we preach a little bit, we help business owners exit their business, but I'd also like to exit business and have a business. What I'm passionate about is we've worked for big companies. We've worked for deals with, multinationals coming in and everything else. The action is the small business owner, the entrepreneur. They're the heroes. They have to fight the toughest fight. We see that every day. They create the most jobs. They create all the innovation in this country. Like to help, I would like to, we do help them. So I'm passionate about that. And I would like to, because if they can't exit successfully and also have their own legacy, then I think, and they have a successful business, but it falls down at the end because of that one last piece. We help them get over the finish line and let that business prosper on after they're done. That's what I want to do. Same thing. I want a resource for those folks to come and help and more jobs and create more innovation and build this country.
Nice. Good stuff. All right. Well, I'll go quickly. What we do is we help business owners create businesses that support their life and build hopefully a multi-generational legacy. That's what I'm passionate about. I used to do it with investment owners and private equity owners and all that good stuff. And now I get to do it with private business owners, which gives me, I shouldn't say it gives me more pleasure because I can see the person I'm helping to impact. And that really, it wakes me up every day wanting to do it. I've got a client right now that it's just so satisfying to see him. He's going to be his first year. He's made over $1 million in profit. And to see that the sparkle in someone's eye when they realize that is just indescribable for me. But my legacy is very similar to what Andrew Deutsch said. It is about leaving these people, these young people, and even older people, after you've allowed them, either them as business owners or people in business, to grow far beyond what they ever thought they could before they met you. And it's not to build my ego; it's to see them succeed is really something. I've got a really close friend of mine that actually is coming to Seattle in a week. That I met him. He was a kid out of high school, honestly, and now he's a national sales manager for $100 million company. So good stuff. Awesome, Michael. Here we go.
All right.
I get choked up. I'm passionate about what I do. Hell, man, I just can't. I can't hold it back sometimes. But we're good.
All right, wait a minute. So I can't share the.
You don't have the share tray down there? So
I have a
click
share
it,
tray.
and what's it say?
Yeah. I clicked it. It just keeps coming back to the main screen. Am I doing something else?
You should see a little
wrong?
share screen that comes up. Oh, like Jacob. Jacob's our tech guy. He said allow pop-ups. Is it giving you a little? Are you using Chrome? Is it giving you a little thing in the upper right?
No. I did it.
We just did it before we got on.
It worked. Right. So don't
be just
know.
right of your microphone on the bottom panel.
Yep. So I hit that.
Click share, right? And then it will put a pop-up up.
It just keeps.
And then that's where you.
It keeps coming back to the screen.
Do you have another screen that it's? Do you have a look and see if you got different open tabs? So this is weird because we never had it to where it works and then doesn't work. So. Go ahead and email me the file and I can bring it up and you can talk while we're doing it. Boom. We'll fix that.
Okay.
Yep.
All righty. That sounds good. I will do that. All right, Damon.
So you got some people rolling on LinkedIn here. Thanks so much for that. We will get this. Usually we work this out ahead of time. It works when we get up on screen, but you never know.
Yeah, we can test it before we started. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did, and it worked.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on.
No worries.
So, yeah, we'll do it. All right, files on its way to you.
Good. Well, while we're going, next week we've got Russ Johns is going to be talking about podcasting and how to do podcasting, tips, techniques, all that good stuff. If you haven't seen his pirate broadcast, that thing is pretty cool. So we think there's a fair amount of people that have been interviewed on it. And all right, got the presentation right now.
While we're ramping up here, this presentation on the 13th, it's Tuesday, April 13th, we're having a free 90-minute, what we're calling a entrepreneurial business accelerator blitz. And we're going to be talking about 12 different things that you can do to accelerate your own businesses. We're not all experts at everything, and sometimes we fail to identify the things that we're not the best at. But if we tune those up, it can make a huge impact in our business.
All right. We got this going. Let's see what I can do here. I'm going to make this big like that. Then that's usually how we do it. So let's go ahead and hit it, Michael.
Beautiful. So how many of you would like to get more done in less time? How many of you would like to make this year your best year ever? And how important is it for you to get 2021 right? Pretty important. Yep. All right. So let's go to the next slide. Let's look at 4 realities that we need to contend with right now in the world that we're living in. So number 1 reality is change is the only constant. I mean, the challenges that we're facing today are unprecedented. Change, technology, everything is moving faster and faster. Reality number 2, the new normal. In this new normal, this do more with less world, with fewer resources and fewer good people, that's going to be the trend that we're going to be with. So everyone is coping to get more done in less time. Organizations are in the midst of tremendous change, and that's the new normal, and it's going to stay that way. Reality number 3, everybody seems to be overwhelmed. Back one, there you go. Overwhelmed, extended, crazy. Information's coming into us faster than we can even digest it. Expectations are completely out of whack. We've got more ways to communicate than ever before in the world, and yet we communicate less effectively than ever. Reality number 4, we all possess finite resources. Time, energy, and time is the number 1 limited resource. And that's what we're going to spend some time talking about today. We all get 24 hours a day, 168 hours a week, and how and what we do with that time, how we utilize, how we manage ourselves in that time is going to make the difference in our success in our business and in our life, because good is no longer good enough. Whatever you're doing today or whatever you were doing last year is not going to get you into the future. It's not going to take you where you want to go. So it's really, really important to look at that. Let's go to the next slide. Clarity is the antidote to anxiety. I love this quote from Marcus Buckingham. Marcus Buckingham worked for Gallup for a number of years, wrote First Break All the Rules, Your Strengths Now. This guy is right on target. There's a lot of uncertainty in the world, and people, what they want most is certainty. One of the ways that we as business owners can create certainty is to create that vision, purpose, and goals that everybody buys into, right? And by maintaining that mental state of focus on where we're going and how we're creating a really great organization with a purpose, meaningful work, our employees are going to be highly, highly engaged in that organization. And increased clarity increases opportunity. Now, it's not just the number of opportunities come at us all the time. We want to get our strategy right so we know what to say no to, which is most of the stuff that comes at us, so we can remain laser focused on what matters most, what really, really matters most, and stay focused on that, okay? So when we do that, we are we manage to keep everything together and moving in the same direction. In other words, we've got everybody in the boat rowing in the rhythmically in this at the same time, moving the boat in the right direction. Let's go to that next slide.
There we go. I was wrong page.
There we go.
Maximum productivity. That's what this is all about. We are a nation of ADD immigrants. I mean, we are driven to distraction like there's no tomorrow, but we also have high energy, and that's what's made us extremely successful. That can-do attitude, that doing it. However, we need to back off sometimes and think about where we're going. If you go to that next slide, I love this quote from Coach John Wooden. Don't mistake activity for achievement. So it's really, really important to be taking action on our goals, but we want to make sure that we're taking the right action on the right goals. So if you go to that next slide, this is the wisdom of Peter Drucker. And I love this. I love Drucker. Drucker has been dead for 10 years. He is absolutely the management guru of the last century, but I would venture to say that he's the management guru of this century. He talked that what he wrote about, what he talked about is as relevant today as it's ever been. if not more so. He talked about knowledge workers and stuff, and we have an economy of knowledge workers, right, worldwide. So talks about two words that are really important when it comes to improvement and productivity: the word effective and the word efficient. The word effective is doing the right things and doing them in order of priority, right? Now, that's we have to really get laser beam focused on the right things. What are the right things for us individually, organizationally, and for all of our team members? Imagine a whole team of people working on the right things, right? So we would get much better results if we had everybody focused on the right things. So this is time is our limiting factor, right? This is what can trip us up. That's why it's so critical to know what the right things are. Now, he used another word here, efficient, and efficient is doing things right. How do most people try to get more, to accomplish more? Typically, they throw more stuff at the wall and hope it'll stick. They work harder and harder and harder, right? But it's not. If you looked at these two words, effective and efficient, which one is more important for us to get the results that we want in life? It's absolutely to be effective, to be doing the right things. You could be spending your time doing things right, okay? But if you're not doing the right things, you're not going to get the results that you want. Drucker says there is nothing so useless as doing efficiently that which should not be done at all. Since we live out of our life out of our habits, if we have good habits, we're on our way. If we have some habits that aren't so good, they're going to trip us up. So we have to continually be questioning what are those right things for us to do. One thing is for sure in 2021, in the 21st century, if we keep doing what we've always done, we're not going to keep getting what we always got. We're going to get further and further behind. We're going to get worse results. We're going to continue to just go behind. So my good friend Wyatt Earp says that fast is fine, but accuracy is more important. And that's the way it is with our business and our life and our time management. So let's go to the next slide. So this is one of the secrets to maximum productivity for us individually as business entrepreneurs and for our people. Number one, doing the right thing. That's the right behavior, right? Doing it in the right way. That's our processes. Mark talked about EOS and things like that, right? The process, you have to have a system for the right reasons. We need to know what our purpose is. We need to communicate that purpose. That's part of our culture to our employees, and we need to know what the goals are. And the right people. This is critical. Clarify job match, job fit. We use a ton of assessments, and I can't tell you how many times employers have business owners complain to us about people, and when we do the assessment, we find out, well, wait a minute, the person is okay, they're in the wrong seat, and then they move them. Maybe someone's in sales, they should be in customer service, or vice versa, whatever, and you move them, and then bing, productivity goes up almost instantly, right? Well, it's natural. If you're working in your strengths, doing what you do best, you're going to be more productive, right? And in order of priority. Prioritizing is critical. All right, let's move to the next slide. So, how many of you are familiar with the Pareto principle or the 80-20 rule? I'm sure this is not a new concept to everyone. But what I want to do is really look at this. I want you all to look at this with new eyes and new ears, okay? The Pareto principle works in every single area of our business and our personal life, okay? And what it means is that if you look at the vital few, right, on that screen in green, that's 20%. The 20% of our activities, and we call those high payoff activities, produce for us 80% of our results. And they produce our goals, our outcomes, and what really, really, really matters most. So some examples of the 80-20 Pareto principle would be 20% of our customers produce 80% of our sales. 20% of our products or services produce 80% of our sales. 20% of the tasks provide 80% of the values. 20% of the salespeople, 80% of the sales. 20% of the employees, 80% of the problems. 20% of the motorists, 80% of the accidents. 20% of our house, we spend 80% of our time in it. 20% of our clothing, we wear 80% of the time. So think about that. The opposite of that is 80% of our closet is full with clothes that we only wear 20% of the time. What are we hanging on to them for, right? So this concept of focusing, and it's like it's a focus and refocus all the time to make sure that you're crystal clear on those high payoff activities. We'll talk about that in a moment. But on the other hand, in red, the trivial many are the 80% of activities that we do that we call low payoff activities that produce only 20% of our results. And we call those results in the red there, what matters least, WML, what matters least. So if you look at a 5-day week, one day we're producing 80% of our results that give us the greatest bang for our buck. And the other 4 days, we're doing low payoff activities. So we need to continue to focus on these high payoff activities to produce the results that we want. So let's look at a moment. Go to the next slide, Damon. So what are high payoff activities? Well, let's look at it. High payoff activities are the activities that are high value to the company in the process of moving towards the vision and strategy. So if we don't have a vision and strategy, remember, clarity is the antidote to anxiety. Well, if we're not clear on the strategy and the vision, any road will get us there, and probably with amazing accuracy. Number 2, high payoff activities are activities that bring the greatest results in your area of responsibilities. I think a couple of weeks ago, Damon, we talked about Think Time, right? Think Tank. And Cunningham's book, right? Think Tank. This is an extremely high payoff activity for business owners, for entrepreneurs, and we don't take the time there because we're busy, doing it. We just keep doing it, right? And then we come up for air, we get some oxygen, and we keep doing it. Activities that increase your contribution factor. Focus on what will make the biggest positive impact on the business, on your employees. Your contribution factor is what value, what's the value that you're bringing to the game, okay? It's never the hours that we put in that counts. It's what we put into those hours. And getting crystal clear on high payoff activities is, I'll tell you what, if you take this seriously, and this is a game changer for every single person on this call right now. If you go home and you take out a pen and paper, actually go to the next slide.
There you go.
There it is. What are your top 3 to 6 high payoff activities? And that's it. If you've got more than 6, you have way too many high payoff activities. So you have to look at those top 3 to 6. Goal setting, planning, think time, communicating your vision. All those are high payoff activities. So we have to really look at this and write them down. And then talk to your coach, your mentor, your partners, whoever. This should be your number 1 activity to do within the next week. If you want to dramatically impact 2021 in a way that you can't even imagine right now. So let's go to the next slide, Damon. So how much time a week are you spending on high payoff activities? So the reason that this is important is because we can we can't see our own blind spots, right? So we BS ourselves into believing, oh, I'm spending 80% of my time on high payoff activities. Well, look at the results you're getting, right? Look at the amount of time that you actually spend on high payoff activities, or the amount of time that you spend kind of fooling around with stuff that gets in the way. And that stuff that gets in the way is primarily low payoff activities, right? And go to the next slide, because these low payoff activities get in our way, and they it's like low payoff every time we do low payoff activities, it's like we're getting a quarter, and when we do high payoff activities, we're getting dollars. So we get a 4-to-1 return, or up to a 10. I've seen 10-to-1 return with clients working on high payoff activities. So what do we do with these low payoff activities that get in our way, that continue to trip us up? Well, we simplify them, eliminate them, delegate them, and outsource them. So I'm gonna spend a little bit of time on that in a couple more slides. But let's go to the next slide. This slide to me helps you understand the difference between low payoff activities and high payoff activities. Okay, what is your time worth? So what is your salary and all the benefits that you put against that salary? So don't just tell me you're making 200 grand a year, but you're putting another 100 grand a year through benefits, cell phones, every benefit that you get from that business, right? If you're at 200,000 or 300,000 a year annually, and your time is worth over $100 an hour, you better be in high payoff activity zone, right? If you're doing low payoff activities, your time is $100 an hour, and you're doing a $20 activity, an activity, first of all, that someone else could do, right? And you could be training your team. How much money are you losing every time you do that? Well, significant amount. So I had a CEO one time, he was saying, so I guess spending an hour on the internet trying to get the cheapest airline ticket is a low payoff activity. You bet it is. You bet it is, right? When you look at also what value are we creating doing that, when we could be hiring other people that would love to do that kind of stuff that could work for us, right? Whether we hire them or we outsource that stuff to them or we delegate it to them, that's critical. So understand what your time is worth. Do a time study, carry it around with you on a 3x5 card, mark it in your planner, whatever. But if I'm thinking my time is worth 100 or 150 bucks or 250 bucks an hour, boy, it's going to slow me down from picking up low payoff activities. And it's not that we can't do them. We can certainly do low payoff activities. It's what value are we creating for ourselves and our team and our family and our community when we're doing low payoff activities, right? Yep. All right, let's go to the next slide. So what are your low payoff activities? A lot of them are repetitive, mundane time wasters. So as you go through your day, just think about, that's why a time study is important, right? If you take and write down every 15 minutes what you're doing, it's easier to look back at the end of the day and see, oh, I've had, it doesn't surprise me when I do this exercise with a business owner and I come back the next week or two and I say, how many hours did you spend each week in high payoff activities? The average is 4 to 6 hours a week. Is that like and these guys are working and gals are working 40, 50 hours a week. It's incredible. So identify them and get rid of them. Next, we're going to go to the next slide. It's just going to give you I'm sure many of you are familiar with this, but this is the Eisenhower method. This is the way Eisenhower made decisions. And it's also called the time management matrix. But every one of us, every day, every minute of every day, are spending our time in one of these 4 quadrants, right? Quadrant number 1 is urgent and important. Well, if it's urgent and important, we have to do it, right? It works on us. We don't have to think about it. We don't have to plan for it. Quadrant number 2 is not urgent, but very important. This is a quadrant 2 activity that we're doing right now. We're learning, we're growing, right? Quadrant 2 activities are planning, goal setting, fire prevention, right? All those things. The quadrant 3 is not important and very urgent. That's the quadrant of low payoff activities, LPAs, and we want to simplify, eliminate, and delegate those activities. And quadrant 4 is not urgent and not important. It's the quadrant of aimless internet surfing, of doing aimless TV watching, of doing anything that distracts us from doing the real deep work. Let's go to that next slide. So kind of a recap on this slide is quadrant 2 is where our goal, where we want to spend as much time as we can in Deming type companies where the focus is on quality, process, procedures, systems. They spend 65% of their time in quadrant 2 on high payoff activities that lead to success and lead to opportunities. They minimize quadrant 1, which is crises and reacting to that, right? But there's a lot of things that we can do in quadrant 2 that'll prevent a crisis in quadrant 1. If we keep our computer, our software updated, malware, keep it clean, we're not going to have our computer blow up on us. But if we're too cheap to get some malware and a guy to maintain that stuff, it could blow up on us. So here, a great example. Change your oil filter in your car, $29.95. Don't change it. Eventually, it's a crisis. Boom. Next thing you know, new engine, $7,500. Right. Quadrant 3, low payoff activities. Simplify them, eliminate them, delegate them, outsource them, get rid of them. And quadrant 4, don't do. Quadrant 4 is the quadrant of irresponsibility. All right, let's roll to next slide. The number 1 high payoff activity killer is the shiny object syndrome. I walk in the office and I'm like, wow, look at all these cool books, man. I haven't read that one yet. I read that one. I want to reread that one again. And I have to be very careful because that can take me right off track of my high payoff activities. So the question you want to ask you and your team is, what are their shiny objects and what percentage of time do we all spend them? We all have them and we want to eliminate them. All right, go to the next slide, please. All right, so quadrant 2 activity is plan and set goals, communicate your plans and goals, and you cannot over communicate to yourself, to your team, just like advertisers. Why does Coca-Cola still need to advertise, right? After whatever, 100 years, right? Everybody, Coke is the real thing. Well, they do it because of spaced repetition. And that's the way we should communicate. Schedule our priorities and then track and measure those goals. Every goal that you track and measure, just by the fact that you track and measure it, will improve performance. So first we work on our goals and then our goals work on us. Very, very powerful concept. All right, let's go to the next slide. So I talked about simplify, eliminate, delegate, and outsource. So we have a tool that we use for this, but think about any process in your business that you're doing. Can it be simplified? Can it be streamlined, consolidated? And this question, I call it the CDO question. If you really, really want to make a quantum leap, then you ought to ask this at the end of the day, right? What did I do today? What was I engaged in? You look at your planner or your Outlook or whatever, and what of what I did today, could I simplify any of it, eliminate any of it, delegate it, or outsource it? So that's the simplify slide. Let's go to the next slide, the eliminate slide. What task or activity or process that no longer has value to me, to the organization, right? How many times do we do stuff because we just do it automatically? Habit. I was in a mastermind group and I was just going and habit. Then I realized like the last year that I wasn't, actually before COVID hit, right? I was reevaluating. I'm like, you know what? I'm not getting the value I feel that I should get out of this group. and I quit. But I thought, hey, mastermind, everybody's got to be in a mastermind, and it was good for many years. It just sort of went off the tracks, but I stayed with it a year longer than I should have. It was time to pull the plug. All right, next one is delegate. Man, why don't we delegate? Because I could do everything better than everybody else. No one can do it as good as me, as fast as me, as accurate as me, blah, 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 blah. That is BS with a capital B and a capital S. Well, it's going to take me an hour to explain it to him or her. Well, it might. However, it might take you an hour or 2 or 3 or 4 once, and you get back an hour a week. That's 50 hours a year. Over 10 years, that's 500 hours, right? So delegating serves 2 purposes. We grow our people, we develop our people. Damon, you were talking about having a business that you could sell, that you're not, the business owner isn't the main producer. This is how you get all your other people to do it. As a business owner, you want to get better and better high path activities. Drucker said you want to work yourself out of a job in a way, right? You want to delegate. What's that guy doing with his feet up on the desk? He's thinking of new opportunities. He's thinking of how we can execute the strategy. He's thinking of how we can 10x the business. But we grow up in the Western world of doing it. We don't value value. We don't value think time. We don't value creativity as much as we should. All right, let's go to the last outsource. What can you outsource in your business? Marketing, SEO, accounting. I mean, there's a ton of stuff. I was fortunate enough to be the mantra of CEDO early on. High path activities versus low path activities, CEDO, everything. And I came home about a couple of years of business. I told my wife, I said, I got to outsource all the accounting function. What? You can do it? I said, yeah, I can do it. And I do it. But it's incongruent with what I say, and it's a waste of my time. So then next went marketing and this and that. I have an admin. I outsource as much as I can to. She's phenomenal. Yeah. And just work on what I can do. Right. Here's the next big slide. The next big question. Big. What is the one thing, the one activity you could focus on every day that would create the greatest benefit for your business and create greater value, contribution, and results? Ask that question every day, at the beginning of the day, at the end of the day, and see what kind of answers you come up with. That is another game changer. The challenge with this stuff is we've heard 80-20, Pareto, we've heard some of this stuff. There's a huge gap between knowing it and doing it and living it and executing it. Knowledge without action is delusion. Yeah. Knowledge without action is delusion. All right, next slide. Love this slide. Love it. Ling Yu Tang, the great philosopher Ling Yu Tang. Besides the noble art of getting things done, there is the noble art of leaving things undone. The wisdom of life consists in the elimination of non-essentials. And that's what we should be working on. The essentials, what matters most, what's really, really important, what creates value, our highest payoff activity, personally and professionally. All right, next slide. Time for action. Next slide. So we started with the 4 realities. Change is the only constant. It's never going to stop. We're in the new normal. Nothing's changing there. It's only going to get crazier. Overwhelmed, overextended, crazy, busy. Inbox is still going to fill up. There's a million things we've got to look at, read, and research. And reality number 4, we all possess finite resources. Time is our limited resource. So my question to you is the next slide. What do you or your team need to start doing? What do you need to stop doing? And what do you need to continue?
Awesome stuff, man. Good. I'm going to quit sharing the screen here. Good. I'm going to quit sharing the screen here. Shut off the screen share, get back to this. Thank you so much. And the timing was perfect.
Yeah.
We're at 9 a.m. Thanks so much, Michael. that is, I tell you what, I think that the biggest thing that connects with me out of what you said is the two things really. Elimination of what you really shouldn't be doing at all. I mean, when I was in manufacturing and you look at lean manufacturing, it's not by making something faster. It's eliminating all the steps in making something that you really don't need to be doing. And that's where because that's 90% of the time. And the 10% is when you're actually doing the value added work. And I think that's what we miss a lot of. And then the things that we do need to do, the CEDO that you talked about is really critical to getting those off your plate and getting those on someone else's or eliminating them completely. So good stuff. Thank you so much. I know we got some people that were on LinkedIn thanks for being there on LinkedIn. Thanks everyone else for joining us again today. Thanks once again for Michael to this presentation. Awesome information. If anyone wants to get a hold of Michael, his contact details are obviously in the stuff that people on Remo know. They also can get him through LinkedIn. Ira mentioned this real quick. We do have an Entrepreneurial Accelerator Blitz webinar we are putting on April 13th at 10 a.m. Pacific time. If you want to learn more about that, just go ahead and contact myself or Ira or someone on the Exit Your Way team. We can talk to you a little bit about that. We're going to drop off of LinkedIn for now. We're going to go back to the tables at Remo for a minute and let people talk. And thanks so much again, Michael. Have a great day, everyone.
You're very welcome. My pleasure.